On March 21st, I had a dream where I was at work and I needed to rent a car for some reason that I didn't know in the dream. I needed to rent a car, so I did it online. And after work, I went to pick up the rental. It was like a manager special. I didn't know what car I was going to get till I got there. And when I go pick up the vehicle, it was this large Ram truck. Um, it was big. To me, it was big. In real life, I'm afraid of driving big vehicles. I've only driven small cars. So when I go to pick up the car and I'm looking at it, like, I am shocked, scared. I'm speechless. My mind went blank. I was like, how am I even gonna get this vehicle out of the parking lot? Like, how am I going to do this? I was standing there for a minute or two thinking, like, how am I gonna do this? But I ended up like doing it, like, no problems. I didn't have any problems getting the vehicle out of the parking lot, going where I had to go, doing what I did, because I didn't see that part. I don't know where I was going, why I needed the rental. I didn't know anything, but I knew that it all happened without any problems. Like, I was able to drive it, do whatever I had to do, come back. So I come back to return the rental, and I gave it to them. I go home, and when I get home, I see that I had the key fob in my pocket. So now I'm scared again. I'm scared. I'm nervous. Like, oh my God. And they closed. It was Friday evening. They had closed. And they weren't going to open. But in a dream, they weren't going to open during the weekend. So I had to wait till early Monday morning so I could return the key fob. And I was like, I have to go early in the morning, and now I gotta wait. What are they gonna think? What are they gonna say? Oh my God, what are they gonna think, and what are they gonna say? So when I woke up, I started looking for Ram vehicles in like, I went on their webpage, and I found like the one I saw. I clicked on the one that was very similar to the one in the dream, the color and everything. It looked very similar. So I clicked on that one, and the ad was the 2026 Ram 3500, and it said, for that model specific, it says, conquer the obstacles, we've got your back. What are the obstacles? The fear I had and the lack of confidence of, how am I going to move that vehicle from the parking lot? How am I going to do this? That was like the main obstacle, because I rented it. I did, everything was done. And the main obstacle was my fear and my lack of confidence. How am I going to do this? Conquer the obstacles. We've got your back. Conquer the fear and conquer the lack of confidence. That's for me. For you, it might be a different fear. It might be a different lack of something, but you have to conquer that obstacle because it's all done. The process has been done. But there's one thing you got to conquer. In the ad, it also said, capability unleashed. The capability has been unleashed. The 2026 Ram 3500 is primed. You are primed to tackle nearly any challenge in life. Nearly any challenge, because we're not the almighty and the all everything, right? But we are primed to tackle nearly any challenge because we have overcome all the challenges. So far, at this point in life, we have overcome all the challenges that we have been put through, and they're rough. They're rough, I know it, but we have tackled them all. From the model of that Ram, which was 3500, I looked up the number 35 in the Strong's Concordance, And 35 means a longing or desire. 35 means longing or desire. Your desire, the thing you've been praying for, the thing you long for God to do, it is very tied to that thing that's stopping you, that fear that's stopping you from driving your vehicle, no matter how big it is. For so long, the battle has been intense. It has been intense. You weren't expecting it. You didn't think God was going to allow it. It's been rough. The battle has been rough. And that's why you've been facing all kinds of fears. The fears have come because of the process and the lack of confidence also. Like, it can also stem from that process, the battle that you've been through. You have overcome many of them in the process also. Like, you have overcome in the process, and then there's others that want to stem from it. But God has cut all the fears, all the things that the last thing that you were fearing the most. God already cut it off. All those external fears, all the things around you that you were afraid of, or the thing that you were fearing the most could have happened, and you were like, okay, my worst fear came to pass, for example. But all the fears around you, you have overcome them all, and now the enemy wants to bring the fears from inside of you, because he can't use the external ones anymore. He wants to put fear inside of you. Since he can't stop anything, he wasn't able to stop anything. He wants to stop yourself this time. In Genesis 22 is where we see the story of when God asked Abraham to sacrifice his son. Imagine the fear Abraham must have felt when God asked him to do that. And in spite of that intense fear he must have felt, he pushed through with it. He pushed through the fear to do what God was asking from him. And when God was sure that he was going to go through with it till the end, God gave him the ram in the bush. In verse 13, we read, "And Abraham lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, behind him a ram caught in a thicket by his horns. And Abraham went and took the ram and offered him up for a burnt offering in the stead of his son." What is God saying with all this? He has your ram in the bush. And it is time for a lot of you to get that ram in the bush finally. It is time for your ram in the bush. Push through that fear that you're feeling now. Maybe you don't have the old fear anymore, but there's one now in the way. Push through that one. The ram in the bush is right behind that fear. Move that vehicle from the parking lot. You stop asking yourself, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? In a dream, I did it without any problems. And then I return the vehicle, and then I find that I have the key still in my pocket. You have the key. You have the key. My worry was, oh my God, what are they going to say? And what are they going to think about me when I went to return the key? You have the key. The key has been given to you. Don't worry about what are people going to say and what they're going to think about you. Just push through that fear, because right behind that fear, the ram in the bush is waiting for you. Be blessed today.